We've just had the quarterly change ending Q1 2025, and it's a really important time for our high retention office. So I just want to cover what we do. We've got a very robust rhythm that ends one quarter and starts anew. So what do? There's a few things we do. The first one, of course, is we like to get our metrics, and I feel with the introduction of so much technology, chiropractors seem to be drowning in their dashboard. Somehow we've come to this point where we think we're some big global Nike company, and the dashboard has got so many complicated metrics that are really difficult to turn into anything useful in a pragmatic sense within the confines of a chiropractic business. So all roads lead to lifetime value. This metric, if this is going up, your practice is in a healthy state. Okay, that's a blanket term, and of course there's exceptions to the rule. But basically, I measure 6 metrics. One is the total revenue for the quarter, the number of new clients seen in that quarter, the total number of consults, which includes all different price variations of the service, the average adjustment fee, you can calculate that from those 2 metrics, and then the lifetime value, and I want that going north. So we do that every quarter. I don't spend too much time every week on my metrics. I prefer to pour all of my energy into serving my community as best we can and leave the metrics as a byproduct for the service and the work that I'm really doing in the practice. The second thing that we get into is our Hall of Fame. Now, the responsibility for tracking all of the clients that come into your office really lays with the chiropractor. For me, it's not good enough to put that all on the CA and phone people that miss their appointments, or phone up to kind of push people to come back into care. So we have a very systematic approach to this. Actually, what I might do is take you up to our Hall of Fame now, because this works so nicely on a very humanistic level for reactivations. So what we do, we collect our favorite clients, and we put them on a wall here. It's not in a public space, this is just up the back in our kitchen. And basically I look at those people. They've come onto this wall for a reason. We've got a 12-step protocol for putting them onto this wall. But anyone on that wall that still is in Singapore and hasn't been in for a few months, I'm very happy to text, because they're actually people that really like us, we like them. They drop out of care, not for anything we did wrong or my CA said wrong or results weren't happening, but just simply because life gets in the way. So we stand here and we just discuss people, and this is a great way to track people rather than having just a spreadsheet of numbers. It's a very real human connection. So this week, I think I texted maybe 8 to 10 people on that list, and every single one of them responds. You never get a non-answer from these people, simply because they do like me so much anyway, and they like chiropractic and they've bought into our lifestyle. So we had a great positive response with the reactivations of that. So that's the Hall of Fame. It needs to be updated by the chiropractor. Of course, do it with your team. Your CA will really value you for that, because they will see that you're really in this for the person, not just for your metrics, but really in it for caring for an individual human. And for me, it's all about tracking and not letting those slip through. So texting 8 people doesn't sound like a whole lot, but if those 8 to 10 people reactivate back into care, they're infinitely easier than new people coming through promotional sort of channels. The next one is our quarterly newsletter. Now, we've got a strong rhythm to this. We also use it to reactivate our inactive client list. So we split our email list into active people and inactive people. We say if someone hasn't been in for 3 months, they slip onto the inactive list. And we just basically send an email out with the digital version of our newsletter. I'm not actually 100% concerned if they open it up while they're just going through their email list, but we do mail it out Wednesday morning at 11 o'clock. We've found that the best open rate time. It's more like just a trigger that we're around. I'm just passing their inbox and therefore passing their thought. So our newsletter for this quarter is on anxiety. So we use this then as the theme for all of our social media posting, all of our lending library books adding to the bookshelf. And we always have a feature article in this. Actually, it always starts with a quote. This one's from Donnie Epstein: "The shape, tone, and quality of your nervous system will determine the shape, tone, and quality of your life." The feature article is not too text heavy, so it doesn't take forever to read. It's quite visual. This is just a feature article on the cycle of anxiety. We move further into a new habit to introduce to empower people to take care of their anxiety. Then we get into our lending library. We've got some relevant books. This one, the top one's really cool actually, How the Body Knows Its Mind. So much research is coming out now that the effect of anxiety is found in the mind, but the cause of it's found in the body. Now I spend quite a bit of time curating our lending library. So for example, this quarter we've got a few nice books. The Anxious Generation. These are for people who want to just go a bit deeper into the material than just the newsletter, but the newsletter really suffices for a busy consumer. The Anxiety Prescription, and another one that I'm reading with our daughter Dali at the moment, The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. Great one for settling the mind and managing stress. And don't forget though, when you do lend one of your lending library books, simply put this bookmark in. So we've got a quote on the back of it regarding to the spine, and on the front we've got it about readers. And readers are actually my favourite niche of clients to take care of. They've got a yearning for learning, and they're often performance-based people that read those New York Times best-selling non-fiction books. But we always give two bookmarks. One is for the client to read the book, and one is to pass this on to a client that might benefit from our work. And we do get referrals from just handing that bookmark around. It's like low-hanging fruit. You're lending a book anyway, so why not pop a couple of bookmarks in where the person can share your work. Also, one important question for a high retention office is what's next? And you'll see in the back there, we always promote our social media, and then we always have a seeding of the next quarterly issue, which is in praise of walking. There's always a call to action on the back, very quiet background with just a simple call to action to book online. So this might be laying around a person's home. It's a great way to trigger referrals. So then our next newsletter, which is in praise of walking. So that's already ready. So we're always a couple of quarters ahead of ourselves with our media narrative and the way we want to, the voice that we want to project ourselves into our community. Moving on from the quarterly, then we get into social media. So we have all our posts ready for social media, all revolving around the topic of retention, the topic of anxiety. And this makes it a lot easier for me as far as content creation goes, but you're welcome to use the books that and the ideas that I've put on our own social media to enhance your own. But it gives a very nice framework. And then the last thing we like to explore at the change of the quarter is what's on. So this is great for the CA. They like to know what's happening as far as any events going on in the practice, and in 3 weeks from now I'll be giving a talk on anxiety. So we promote that in the office. It's up to the CA to help me get bums on seats, and people can bring a friend, and it's a great way to nudge people who have maybe even been in for a little while, like let's say they've gone through the pain understanding of health, they've progressed to a corrective care level of understanding, and then they're up to even to a maintenance level of understanding of what we do with chiropractic. It's still only half the story, by the way. But people in the maintenance phase, when they're asymptomatic, they're great people to invite to talks or community challenges, because they do need other reasons to continue to come in to me for chiropractic care beyond the adjustment. Because they're typically the people that say, after 6 months of no symptom, look, Vismai, I've got I haven't had any headaches or symptoms for 6 months. I'm just going to stop for a while and see how I go without you, and I'll call you back if the symptom comes. If that gets said to you, and you've heard that before, we all have that, you've just missed the boat. You're just too late. So you really want to acutely be aware of your clientele that's emerging up their ascension level of understanding of health, and how you can start to then invite them into other parts of the services that you're offering. So that's what we do within the quarterly. We like to see the metrics. We like to do our Hall of Fame and update that in a very humanistic way. We like to introduce the quarterly newsletter, do our reactivations, get the rhythm right, introduce what's on, and that's kind of the wrap up for our quarterly. So I hope you found this helpful. We'll see you in the next film. If you're a chiropractic business owner and would like to give more attention to your retention, please click the first link in the description below and we can get on a discovery call together to see if we're a good fit to work. And also, if you'd like this and like to get more information on this, just like and subscribe to the channel so you'll never miss one of my films.